A humble servant to the university he loves, Gary Clark has devoted much of his career to advancing his alma mater, Oklahoma State University.
OSU represents Gary's roots. Gary learned his leadership here. Gary learned to be a man here, and the manners that he has, the demeanor that he has, the skills that he has, that he's continued to use in every aspect of his life.
It means his life. I don't guess there's anybody that I know that has done more for OSU than Gary Clark has, starting at as I said, at that junction of his life where he was a student and was a very meaningful leader to Oklahoma State University.
From the moment Clark stepped foot on campus as a student, he was driven to lead. His passion for service and loyalty propelled him to where he is today.
He grew up in Morris, Oklahoma, a little town near Okmulgee, and he came over here and joined AGR fraternity and majored in agriculture. I can't remember if it was ag econ or he was going to be an ag teacher, and actually did that for a little bit, and then ended up going to law school and the Army. And I just think OSU, like with many of us, is just such an important factor in the development of our lives.
If you ever need a job to get done, you need to call Gary, because it was going to be done. Gary was in a different fraternity than I was in. He was an AGR. I was a member of Phi Delta Theta, and yet the Phi Deltas and the AGRs, and at that time the Sigma Nus, had a very close alliance. I was in ag school. Gary, his major was in ag ed, and he just wanted to be an ag teacher before he decided he wanted to be a lawyer and go to the University of Texas Law School. And so we all worked together in student government to try to put the agenda forward that we thought was best for Oklahoma State University student body at that time.
After attending law school, Clark began working on projects and committees in the Tulsa County Bar Association, where he was ultimately elected president. Clark continued to use his leadership skills to advance his career in law, and would eventually get elected as president of the Oklahoma Bar Association.
Gary continued to show his leadership skills from Oklahoma State University while he was president of the Bar Association. He showed the cowboy way. He didn't want all of the limelight for himself. He wanted to share that with others. And he made sure that other lawyers who were doing projects, trying to teach, trying to help the lawyers in our state, got that opportunity. I was the president of the Bar Association that followed Gary. And not only did he make sure that he had a successful year and did things to help the lawyers in our state, but he also made sure that I had that opportunity as well. One of the things Gary did was develop a reporting system for lawyers' educational credits that we're still using today. Gary navigated us through some tough time, but he always maintained that cowboy demeanor.
That cowboy demeanor ultimately brought Clark back to Oklahoma State, where he served in several university leadership positions. From serving as a regent to working as the president's right-hand man, Clark has done it all.
Well, he's just taken on some really difficult jobs over the years, and he always seems to come out the other side intact. He can really focus. He can really concentrate on what needs to be done, and Oklahoma State and Oklahoma all benefit from that.
Gary was appointed to the Board of Regents and served as a regent for Oklahoma State University for a number of years. Gary gave up his law practice to come back to Oklahoma State University to work at the foundation and ultimately for the president. Gary has always put his university and their needs first and has always remained loyal to Oklahoma State University.
Gary Clark was named OSU Vice President for University Relations in 2008. Alongside President Hargis, Clark helped to orchestrate major transformations in enrollment, fundraising, and engaging both students and alumni.
You can have success and significance, and you can be the most important person here and nobody knows your name. And that's what I think Gary was. Gary was always, he was never afraid to be in the background and be the one doing the work. Burns, bless his heart, is the best front man in the world, okay? Everybody loves Burns, and he can tell a story better than anybody you ever saw. But he knew that he knew what he needed to help him out, and he knew that he needed someone like Gary Clark, and there's not anybody like Gary Clark.
He's a very understated and very smart person. He was, as far as I was concerned, he was the perfect person to be my co-president, in effect. He's thorough, he's good and likes things I don't like doing, and that's the perfect partner to have. And so he's just very accomplished and does things always the right way and always thorough.
Clark is a role model not just for patience and kindness, but also resolve. Most importantly, he exemplifies strong character that his family, friends, and alma mater can all be proud of.
If I could describe Gary Clark in one word, that word would be integrity, because you always know that Gary will do what he says he'll do, and he'll do it holding the utmost of the very best of values of, it's overused, but Gary understands the cowboy culture because he was raised with it, okay? And Gary is the ultimate of it, and you never have to worry about the image that Gary is going to bring to anything. It's going to be the proper image, and Gary's integrity is completely without blemish.
Well, he's certainly one of the most outstanding graduates Oklahoma State has ever produced. And he has given back in so many ways to OSU, both with his time and with his treasure. And he loves this place, as I said, more than anything other than his family. And so it's richly deserved.
I am just so pleased that he is finally eligible and can be recognized, because there's nobody that I've ever known, and it's very few that I haven't known that have been elected in the last 20, 25 years to the OSU Hall of Fame. And certainly of all of them, nobody is more deserving than Gary Clark.
The perfect example of loyal and true, Clark exemplifies the cowboy code through his dedication to his friends, family, and alma mater. Our state and university are brighter places because of him and his many years of leadership. Gary Clark, 2024 Oklahoma State University Hall of Fame.